What if the world were deaf? Imagine waking up one morning to find that the world has been enveloped in complete silence. What if everyone on Earth were deaf? How would our lives change in the absence of hearing? How would society evolve without the sense of hearing? In this video, we'll embark on a deep dive into what a deaf world might look like. Hearing is an integral part of our daily lives. Sounds guide us in understanding the world from the moment we are born. But what if we suddenly lost this sense? How would the world transform? Consider the sudden disappearance of traffic noises, birds chirping, and the voice of a loved one. How would people navigate life in such profound silence? The dynamics of society, the way we function, and our daily habits would undergo radical changes. Today, let's explore this hypothetical scenario together. How would a world without hearing impact communication, art, education, and social interactions? Let's open the doors to a silent world and discover its facets. First and foremost, communication would undergo a significant transformation. Sign language would become the universal mode of communication. Everyone would use their hands to express emotions and thoughts. The role of sounds would be replaced by facial expressions and body language. Phones, computers, and other communication tools would evolve in entirely new ways. Video calls and text messaging would take the place of verbal communication, with sign language playing a central role. The education system would also experience a fundamental shift. Teachers would use sign language and visual aids to impart knowledge. Auditory learning would be replaced by visual and kinesthetic learning. In schools, lessons would be conducted in silence. Students would focus on teachers' movements and facial expressions to grasp concepts. The classroom environment would be characterized by a quiet atmosphere. Social relationships would see significant changes as well. People would invest more effort in connecting with each other. In schools, lessons would be conducted in complete silence. Students would learn by focusing on their teachers' movements and facial expressions. The classroom environment would be characterized by a serene quiet, where communication would rely heavily on visual cues rather than auditory ones. Teachers would employ a range of gestures and visual aids to convey information, while students would become adept at interpreting these nonverbal signals. The typical buzz of classroom chatter would be replaced by a focused, hushed atmosphere where every gesture and expression carries significant weight. Social interactions would undergo substantial transformations as well. People would need to invest more effort into effective communication. Building relationships and resolving conflicts would depend largely on sign language and body language. People would become more adept at reading and expressing subtle emotional cues through their hands and facial expressions. Misunderstandings and disagreements would be addressed with heightened attentiveness and clarity in nonverbal communication, making empathy and patience essential skills in daily interactions. Cultural and social activities would also shift dramatically. Theater performances would evolve into entirely silent or visually expressive spectacles. The drama and emotion traditionally conveyed through spoken dialogue would be delivered through intricate pantomime, expressive movements, and detailed visual storytelling. Films would rely heavily on subtitles and visual effects to convey their narratives, ensuring that audiences could follow the plot and appreciate the artistic elements through sight alone. Disputes and misunderstandings would be resolved through sign language and body language. Cultural events and social activities would adapt to the new norms. Theater performances would become silent or involve expressive visual elements. Movies would be enhanced with subtitles and visual effects. The music industry would take a completely different direction. Music would be experienced through vibrations and light displays. Concerts would be designed around felt rhythms and visual spectacles. Music bands and artists would present their performances with visual effects and vibrating platforms, audiences would use special vibrating devices to feel the music. Technology and science would rapidly evolve to accommodate this new world. Hearing aids and sign language translation devices would become essential parts of daily life. Researchers would develop new methods to treat hearing loss and assist those with hearing impairments. Genetic research and biotechnology would make significant advancements in this field. Living in a deaf world would prompt us to rediscover our senses and rethink what it means to be human. The absence of hearing would make us more attentive and empathetic individuals. Technology and science would swiftly adapt to this new reality. This thought experiment reminds us of the value of our senses and communication. Our ability to understand and connect with one another extends beyond hearing. Silence might open doors to a new world. The concept of a deaf world might inspire us to cultivate empathy and embrace differences. By transcending the limits of our senses, we might uncover the true potential of humanity. The loss of hearing would signify a profound change for humanity. This change could foster greater understanding, deeper connections, and stronger communities. A world without hearing could help us redefine what it means to be human. In conclusion, a deaf world could make us more conscious, empathetic, and sensitive individuals. Discovering the beauty within silence could mark a new beginning for humanity.